Student Speak Out is a great website for students, adults, and anyone really who wants to commentate on the Minneapolis public school system or any schools and their experience and what they can bring to the table to help to improve and critique the school system that we have.
The folks from the Citizens League came over and spoke with me, I don't know, a couple months ago and told me what they were up to, and I thought it was a terrific idea to get students involved in really articulating their concerns about public education.
This is brand new. I've never heard of this before, and I think it's a great idea, and I'm really pleased that you and the other students were willing to do this, and I'm really pleased that the Citizens League was able to put this together and say, look, if you're going to change education, if you're going to look at education, talk to the students.
I like the idea of empowering young people to take control and to be in charge. So anything that we can do to support that, I feel strongly about.
I used to go to Marcy Open School. How everything worked there was a great place for student voice and for student input. It was an open school, so they had the open school philosophy, and it was just a really great place for that. But as things started to slip, the way the school board was running things and the funding and the resources, how things were, applied to that specific school, things started to go downhill. By the time I got to the middle school, it was so far downhill that the only way I could really get out of it was to leave.
I just think that the education system is in difficulties. I mean, not enough kids in Minneapolis, certainly they're not graduating from high school, and I think that's a disaster waiting to happen.
We need you to be involved early on because you're going to take our places.
My question was, tell me about characteristics of a great teacher.
My question was about what can parents do to really help support young people's decisions to get involved in planning for college or careers.
I think it's a great opportunity to kind of get rid of that gap and the big separation between adults and students.
How do we talk to each other? Where do we find places where we can meet? And the internet and the virtual reality is certainly one way of doing that.
When you're on that site, I know these people by their name, just because of what their display name is, and and unless they say, what their job occupation is or what experiences they have, maybe I go read their stuff. There really isn't anything that makes them higher up on that site or their opinions more valid or important than mine. And I think it's not just student opinions being valid and needing to happen. It should be everybody.
I was really impressed with the quality of the answers that they gave me, and then I put a list of them all together, and I actually sent it out to a couple schools and some teachers that I know to let them take a look at it.
I was pleased with how much they had thought about it, and there was a variety of input. We're trying to build a set of students in the Minneapolis schools who would be kind of our advisory group, and would love to have these young people that were involved in answering the question to get involved in that way.
It's kind of our responsibility to take that and kind of all of us to go out and do something. I think it's not just the adults to be honest. I think it should be kind of like all of us thinking about what we should do.
How do we as a community make all this work? And we haven't solved it all yet. As we mature and retire, the next generations are going to be picking this up. And we have a lot of work to do.
Anybody out there in the audience that's watching this, if they ask you to participate, do it.
I would totally do it again.
Yeah.